Linda Mitchell.
I'm Leah Warren.
Lynn Harris. Well, I have a 2.5-year-old, and I do worry.
Women have to publicize and educate about the unconscious bias that still pretty well blankets our society.
We all actually are feminists. Like, we all actually believe the same things. We all actually believe that women are people, and we all actually believe that everyone deserves the same shot at things.
Amy Siskin.
Thank you. A reporter asked me last summer how I felt after the sexism in the 2008 campaign, and how I described it was like watching a slow motion train wreck and not being able to speak. And so when the reporter asked me what I planned to do about it, I said, I'll never be silent again, and I'll be damned if I'll let that happen to our daughters when they grow up. So 9 months ago, we founded the New Agenda. It was a group of women from around the country, a group of unlikely spokespeople in the world of feminism. And I'm both shocked and humbled by the impact we have had on this country in 9 short months. We've become a national movement with members in all 50 states. We've had over dozens and dozens of grassroots meetings all around the country. We've become a go-to voice for the media. You can see our handouts here. We've also become part of shaping the national dialogue. We've come a long way, baby, but our journey is not complete. We still have to travel the last mile. And I want to thank you all for being here today. And I want to tell you, I worked, many of you know, for 20 years on Wall Street. Perhaps the most important lesson I learned was to have a long memory. And we will always remember those who stood with us in the beginning, as we were a new movement with thousands of members, as opposed to the millions that we will eventually have. And as we are setting up the structure to become this national movement. Because here's what we know. Women have come a long way, but just beneath the surface, where the eyes cannot see, the roots of misogyny and sexism have been left to grow unabated. And these roots still flourish in our media, our workplaces, our homes, our schools, even our political parties. And it's one thing to whack the weed of sexism when it rears its ugly head above the surface. That's something the New Agenda's been doing for 9 months. We've been issuing press releases, writing action alerts, writing stories for our blog. But just like the game Whack the Mole, when you whack sexism in one place, it just comes up another. The real challenge to making lasting progress is to get underneath, to get to the roots, to literally eradicate the roots that lie very deeply in darkness, ignorance, and bias. And that is our last mile together. And I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world. Imagine a world where you could walk to your car at night and not have to look over your shoulder. Imagine a world where you went to work and the woman in the next cubicle smiled and offered to help you. Imagine a world where your daughter was judged on her character and not her looks. And what if I told you that this world is possible and in fact it's just a moment away, and that moment is our moment here together, here and now. And that moment begins when the women of this country finally start to put down their arms and instead join arm in arm and move forward together. And some may say, no way, this will never happen. But I'm here to tell you, I've seen it, I've lived it, and I know we can do this. I've been given a hand up by mentors and turned around to give my hand to mentees. I've been in groups of women where unity is the body of law. Yet I know many of you and many of our members have expressed that they've never been in an organization or in any walk of life had women who had their back. And they're feeling worried, maybe they've resigned themselves to the fact that it's going to be that way for the next generation as well. But I'm asking you all to put aside your fears and your predispositions and join us in this moment. Join us as we form a movement of unity. And if not for ourselves, then for the future of our country. So we can turn to the next generation and say, that when you get your first job and your last job, you'll get a fair wage and a fair shake. That if you run for political office, you'll be judged on your merits. That when you go to high school, you won't have to worry about being bullied or sexual assault. And at each step along the way, you'll have women who will be role models and mentors to help you along. A sisterhood of support, a new agenda. And we need to start right now, at this moment. There is no time to waste. This moment as we leave tonight and work together towards unity. This moment as we reach out to our friends, family, and our neighbors, and we tell them to join us at the new agenda. There is no time to waste. Now is the time. Because a better world is just around the corner as we join together, arm in arm, father and daughter, mother and son, sister and brother, friend and neighbor. And if we truly believe that this can happen, then it can. And as Betty Cotton would say, you go, girl. Thank you.